All right, my friends, welcome back for part 2. So the first thing that we did here was we looked and we saw all these grouping symbols, and we simplified our operations inside those grouping symbols because that's what we do first in the order of operations. Now, I kept the parentheses because that reminds us that parentheses mean multiplication, okay? So we notice that there's no exponents here, so we don't need to focus on our exponents. So we move to our multiplication and division next. Again, moving from left to right. So first we have 3 times 9, which gets us 27, plus 1 times 14, which is 14. That gets rid of all of our multiplication. There's no division. So our final step is focusing on addition and subtraction, going left to right. And here we have 27 plus 14, which gets us an answer of 38. Woo! And let's take a look at our next slide. Okay, for this evaluating of this expression, we have 3 times 4 plus grouped 6 minus 2. So of course we're going to start with our grouping symbols and evaluate this 6 minus 2 in the parentheses. So rewrite everything you have until you get to those parentheses. 6 minus 2 gets us 4. Beautiful. I do not see any exponents. So next we focus on multiplication and division. We only have one multiplication here. This is our 3 times 4, which gets us 12 plus 4. No more multiplication and division. So we move on to addition and subtraction. 12 plus 4 gets us that final total of 16. Beautiful. Simplifying our answer to 16. We got 3 more slides here to complete. Reading the expression first, we have negative 18 divided by 2 plus 4 in parentheses minus a 4 squared. So look for those grouping symbols first, which we see right here with our 2 plus 4. So we're going to rewrite everything and then simplify our 2 plus 4 in parentheses to get 6 minus a 4 squared. No more grouping symbols, so we're going to focus on exponent next and figure out what that 4 squared is. That little 2 in the corner, little numbers in the corner are our exponents. So we have negative 18 divided by 6 minus 4 squared. Now remember that little 2 tells us we're multiplying 4 by itself twice, 2 times. So 4 squared is 4 times 4, which gets us 16. That is all for exponents. So now we're going to focus on multiplication and division. I don't see any multiplication. I do see a division. We have negative 18 divided by 6 right here. Negative 18 divided by 6 is going to get us a negative 3. You can type that into your calculator to check. 6 goes into 18 3 times, and it is a negative divided by a positive, so our answer stays negative. And finally, we're going to do our addition and subtraction. Negative 3 minus 16 is going to get us a negative 19 for our final answer. Beautiful. Nice job, y'all. Remember, you can pause the video at any time if you're not done taking notes to fill it in, and make sure you're filling in those notes. That's how we get credit for this assignment, okay? Order of operations here, we have negative 6 squared plus, in parentheses, a negative 2 to the 4th power, all divided by 3 plus 2. So when we're working with a division bar like this, we can simplify the top and then simplify the bottom, okay? So -6 squared. Notice that the negative is not inside the parentheses like it is over here with the -2. This is going to be a difference in how you type it into your calculator. So for the first one, we want to type minus 6 and then hit this a squared button. Oops. There we go. Sorry, just moving stuff around on my computer. Hit that squared button and we'll get a -36. Beautiful. Now when we're typing in the second one, you want to make sure you use those parentheses. So you're typing parenthesis, -2, close the parentheses. So parenthesis, -2, close the parentheses, and then you're going to hit this a to the b button, right? Because our exponent is a 4, it's not a 2. So we have to make that a 4 in our calculator. So we have -2 in parentheses, raised to the 4th power gets us 16. Right? When we have a fraction bar like this, we can think of this all being in a grouping symbol, so we just simplified that top grouping symbol. In the denominator, the bottom of the fraction, we have 3 plus 2, just addition, so we can simplify that to our 3 plus 2, which is 5. Now up top on our numerator, we have a -36 plus 16, which should get you a -20. And you're dividing that by 5. Bring that 5 down. And go ahead and type that into the calculator. What do we get for our final answer? What is -20 divided by 5? Give me a second to type that in. And you should get your final answer of -4. Right? 5 goes into 20 4 times, and it's a negative divided by a positive, so our solution stays negative. Brilliant. Beautiful work, my friends. We have one final slide we're going to work through. So push ahead to slide 10 when you're ready. And we see a lot going on here, right? We have our -5 minus -3 in parentheses squared. Those parentheses are super important. Plus the square root of 49 minus, remember these bars are our absolute value bars, distance from 0, -6 plus 2. So notice we're working on those grouping symbols first. We have this -3 that is being squared. So in your calculator, you're typing in parentheses, -3, parenthesis, and then you can hit that squared button. And that is -3 times -3, which should get us a +9. The square root of 49, we can hit this square root button on the calculator and then type in that number, 49. 7 is the square root of 49 because 7 times 7 gets us 49. So remember, when we're doing square root, we're wondering, what is that number that we can multiply by itself to get us 49? Finally, we're simplifying our grouping symbols of -6 plus 2. -6 plus 2 gets us a -4. Beautiful. So we have we have -5 minus 9 plus 7 minus an absolute value of -4. So we're going to get rid of those absolute value bars first, so we can copy down this 9 and this 7. And the absolute value of -4 is a positive 4, right? Because negative 4 is 4 spaces away from 0. So now we just have our addition and subtraction left. Negative 5 minus 9 is going to be a negative 14. And then we have our plus 7 minus 4. And finally, negative 14 plus 7 minus 4. Negative 14 plus 7 gets us negative 7 minus 4. And negative 7 minus 4 gives us our final answer of negative 11. Beautiful. So hopefully you're feeling a little bit more confident in working through those order of operations and simplifying. Y'all rocked it. Make sure you are taking notes on all of these slides and let me know if you have any questions. See you at the next assignment, y'all.